What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Shawnee J, coming at you live and direct with another video. Today's topic of conversation here's why I had to take my Mazda 6 to the shop. Okay. In today's video, I'm sharing exactly why I had to take my 2007 Mazda 6 to the shop and what I learned from the whole thing. If you didn't know, I bought this car 3 years ago for $4,500. Got a great deal on it. Only has when I first bought it, it had 118,000 miles on it. It should be at 180,000 miles. But as long as I've had it, I've only put 11,000 miles on it. Yes, that's right. Only put 11,000 miles on this car since I had it. Since really you put like a 1,000 miles a month. I put less than that every month. But anyways, it's my baby. I love my car. That's why I talk about my car here and there. It gets me from point A to point B with no problem. It's my baby, man. As you know, I ain't got no big responsibilities. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no girlfriend. So this car is like literally my biggest responsibility. And I gotta take care of my girl. I gotta take care of my baby. Not my girl, but I gotta take care of my baby. You dig what I'm saying? So, all right, guys, let's go on with the video. All right, deuces.
What's up, fellas? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Sean J, coming at you live and direct. I got some notes on here to keep track of everything we're talking about. I showed you guys my whip. I'm about to share with you the symptoms, the symptoms of my car, of what's going on with my whip, man. So I went to Jiffy Lube. It all started when I went to Jiffy Lube to get an oil change, right? I don't know how long ago. It's probably like a month ago, something like that. A month and a half ago. Got an oil change. I stay up on my oil changes. You know what I'm saying? Oil changes is very important. Make sure you get that oil change, man, when it's needed. So I went to go get my oil change, and you know how Jiffy Lube is. And that's why I like Jiffy Lube, because Jiffy Lube's going to tell you what's up. Your car is having this problem, you're having an oil leak here, or you need to replace this or that, X, Y, and Z. They gonna tell you. That's why I mess with Jiffy Lube. I messes with them like that. Because they gonna tell you what's up. They told me, these mugs told me, listen, man, your transmission is slipping. Now, anything with transmission in it, you get all concerned about it. You're like, oh man, my transmission, oh snap. What I do, I went home and I Googled transmission and did a little bit of research on like the symptoms and, you know what I'm saying, and how it's pertaining to my car. And like certain fluids, if you don't have it topped off, like if your fluid is under, like your transmission fluid, if it's like under like there's a measuring, like a line where it should be at. If it's under that, it's not good. And if it's over that, it's not good. And if that transmission fluid is brown instead of red, it's not good. You need a transmission flush. If your transmission fluid is if it smells burnt when you take it out on the stick and you smell it and it smells burnt, you gotta hop on it, man. That transmission ain't no joke. Once that transmission goes out, it's a wrap, which means you might need a new transmission. And them joints cost between like $1,800 and $3,000, man. Cost a grip. So I did. Went home. I researched that joint, and I was like, all right, bet. All right. I looked at what it pertained to my car. I said, you know what? My car does, when I push on the gas, when I'm accelerating, right? That joint it'll pause right in the middle of the gear when it switches gears, and it'll jerk you back in your seat just a little bit, nothing too crazy, but you can still feel it and you can hear it in the engine. It'll jerk you back and then it'll go on to gear 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? All right, they right. You know what I'm saying? And it said you need to take care of that joint as soon as possible, bro. I said, all right, bet. I have the money. I save up. If y'all don't know about me, your boy ain't got no kids. I'm 39, I ain't got no kids. I ain't married, I ain't got no girlfriend. This baby right here, my car, is my biggest responsibility, and I take care of mines, man. I take care of mines, man. Real talk. So yeah, that was a symptom. The fact that it would jerk, the transmission would be slipped, like it had a hard time accelerating, going to different gears. You know what I'm saying? So that was the symptoms. Now I'm going to talk about the diagnosis. The diagnosis. So after I got done researching about transmission slipping in particular, right? Why your transmission slips, or what to do to get it fixed or whatever. I called my mechanic up, Luis. Shout out Luis. I know he ain't watching this video, so he don't know about my YouTube channel, but I hit up Luis. I told him what was the problem. I told him, hey man, I went to Jiffy Lube. These people said my transmission was slipping. I need you to take a look at my joint. He said, all right, bet. Swing by. So I got in my car, went down there, pulled up to the mechanic shop, and he don't live that far away. He only lives like 5 minutes away from me. Not live, but works. He's on mechanic shop, about 5 minutes away. So it's so convenient, right? I go, I tell him about the transmission is slipping. He said, okay. He said he told me what he needed to do to it. He said, well, okay. You said your transmission is slipping. All right. We sat down in my car for like 15, 20 minutes just talking cars, man. Talking about my car, right? He's a good mechanic, bro. And dude was like, you're gonna need a transmission service. You're gonna need to replace the transmission filter and reseal the transmission oil pan. You're gonna need reseal the transmission oil pan. Those three things about the transmission that I needed. I said, all right, bet. He said, okay, you gonna do it today, or you gonna do it next week, up tomorrow? I said, man, if you can fit me in there today, it'll be a blessing. He said, okay, all right, bet. So he said, what I'm gonna do for you, what I'm gonna do. And I told him about the noise. This is besides the transmission. There's a noise in my right passenger side. It probably has to do with, I found out it's about suspension. My right passenger side. So he said, all right, bet. All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put on the lift, I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm gonna check that side that you're talking about, Sean. So I said, okay. And let me see, what I'm trying to get the story in order, right? So yeah, he checked everything out, and he told me, no, I left my car with him. There we go. I left my car with him. First he took me home in my car. Then he drove my car back to his shop, which is 5 minutes away. And he put my car on the left, and he checked it out, and he said, listen, man, your car needs an outer tie rod on the right. And that, he proceeded to tell me how that's why my alignment is not completely straight, because my tie rod is loose. I need a new one. And he showed me the tie rod, which I'm about to show you guys right now. This is a tie rod. You see what I'm saying? You see how loose that tie rod is, man? I needed a new tie rod. He's a good mechanic. He'll take pictures. He gonna inform you on everything. You dig? So the tie rod. So then he actually found another problem. He found another problem with the CV. Actually, he said basically it just needs to be replaced. It's it's rusted out. It definitely needs to be replaced. Because my brother was telling me that if it snaps, oh man, it's trouble. If the axle snaps, it's a wrap, bro. You're gonna be paying out of pocket a lot of money. So yeah. So he pointed out those things. So the transmission services, replace the transmission filter, the reseal transmission oil pan, those three, and then the outer tie rod and the CV axle, which needs to be taken care of. I said, okay, give me a quote. He said, okay, all right, bet. I'm gonna give you a quote. He said, the joint all together, all that services together, man hours, everything included, will be $1,380, $1,380. $1,380. I said, okay. I got money saved up, so I wasn't stressing it, but you know, of course, you know what I'm saying. You gotta take care of your stuff, man. You gotta take care of your car. But he is so cool. Shout out to Luis, right? He's so cool. Dude's like, hey man, listen, I'll give you a package deal. You take care of all, if I take care of all the services that you need, the transmission services and all, you know, the axle, CV axle, tie rod, I can give you a deal. I can help you out. I can let it go for $1,200. $1,200. That's $180 discount. You can't say no to that. I'm like, oh man. Plus, he's the one that told me about the deal. I said, oh, I'll be a fool to not want to take that deal. I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. That's the cost and fix. So it went from $1,380 to $1,200. $1,380 to $1,200. He went ahead and fixed that. He went ahead and fixed the problem. Man, I see a major difference in my car now, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know how I was telling you guys before when y'all stepped on the gas, like it would hesitate in between gears. It would hesitate. It don't do that no more. You can barely even tell that it's shifting gears, bruh. My car's automatic too, so you can barely even tell that my joint's shifting gears, man. You can barely even tell. It rides a lot smoother. I don't hear that sound, that rattling, or I don't even know how to describe it. It sound like, yeah, it's a sound on this side, my passenger side. I don't even hear that no more. So he fixed the problem. He fixed the two issues. So I was really happy about that. I cannot complain, man. The boy can't complain for anything. He, on top of that, gave me a discount. Can't ask for more than that, man. Can't ask for more than that. Plus, he put me up on game about how Jiffy Lube is only good for certain things. When it comes to mechanical things, you shouldn't go to Jiffy Lube or Take 5 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go to places that specialize in that. You know what I'm saying? Like in that specific thing, nothing mechanical. So when I got my head gasket done with Jiffy Lube, he was telling me, listen, you got new parts, Sean J. You got new parts, but I ain't gonna lie about it. They did a sloppy job on it. They did a horrible job on it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know. He said, you come to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a great job. Like, it's gonna be quality. I was like, all right, bet. I got that in mind now. I learned a lot. Jiffy Lube don't go to any place. Jiffy Lube is not gonna cover, even though they offer those services, don't go to them, man. You might go to one of your private mechanics, do a better job than they will. So they don't specialize in that. They only specialize for the oil changes. And even with that, he was telling me horror stories. Keep in mind, he's a mechanic. He works every day, bro. He told me horror stories about Jiffy Lube, how they didn't screw in something tight enough and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He told me all kinds of horror stories, man. I'm like, oh, snap. I didn't know it was like that. But it's real. It's real, bro. So, yeah. So what I learned. If you drive a Mazda, especially one past 100K, 100,000 miles, you might want to keep an eye on the suspension components, man. The suspension components, and that's one. And transmission. Make sure you keep an eye on. Make sure you're getting them flushes every 60,000 miles, man. That's what I learned. I learned that if something sounds off, it probably is. It's true. You might want to open the hood up every once in a while when you turn on your car and just listen. Any rattling or tapping or anything, be mindful of all that. Your car, like I said, I had that noise, that sound coming from my passenger side. You know what I'm saying? I finally got around to it, and I think it was the outer tie rod. So that's fixed now, but it could have been something more crazy. You know what I'm saying? Something more costly. Don't ignore check engine lights. I mean, that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? You should never ignore a check engine light. And then if you do get a check engine light, don't just go to a mechanic, pull up to a mechanic immediately. Go to AutoZone. They'll give you a free diagnosis. They'll only give you a code though first. And it's your part to get on YouTube. Not YouTube. What am I saying? I love YouTube. It's your business to get on. Google that code, the code that comes up, and see what it's all talking about. And then take it to a mechanic, bro. Then take that joint to a mechanic. And another thing that I learned, man, do a transmission flush on every 60,000 miles. You want to do a transmission flush every 60,000 miles, man. Straight up. Because it's the transmission that goes out. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. Luckily, my car wasn't bad. He drove it around, before and after. Before he did the work on it and after he did the work on it. And he give me a okay, you're good, man, you're good. Well, if I wouldn't have known about the transmission slipping, thanks to Jiffy Lube, even though I enjoy how they, thanks to Jiffy Lube, they told me about it. But yeah, I'm glad I found out about it, even though it was a lot over, you know what I'm saying? But it's to say long overdue. I'm not gonna edit this out. Long overdue. It was long overdue, but I got it done. My car's running smoothly now. My baby running smoothly, man. But that's my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.